And I said, well, I go see Livewire and Plain Jane and all these other bands all the time. And he goes, and two of the guys goes, well, we're from Livewire. We have a new band called The Urge, and we might be looking for a singer if you're interested. And I'm going, okay.
I'm in.
If you need the water, check the beaches in the Carolinas. If you need the mountains, try the Appalachian Trail. If you need the redwood trees, gotta go to Yosemite. If you need me, 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 I'll be in Kansas City.
Welcome to Kansas City Limits. Today we're in the studio with the Carl Warden Band. We're going to find out everything about them, their life, the story, and what's going on. I'm Robert Bierce. We're so excited that you're tuning in to today's program. But before we get started, let's introduce you to Jay Cornwell, our founder of the Kansas City Limits. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Robert. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Carl, for setting this up to be with us today. You guys have, as we were talking a little bit earlier about trying to get this thing worked out, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as I said, I had it circled on my calendar. I was excited about it because I really wanted you guys on the show.
No time machines yet. We would have made that a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And just a shout out, today happens to be the 50th anniversary to the Austin City Music Limits program going on down there in Texas. So we appreciate and pay homage to them. Thanks so much for starting such a thing back then. And Jay, thank you for starting the one here in Kansas City.
Well, I wanted to align myself with something good, and they do real good down there. And hopefully, I don't know, we want to compete with Austin City Limits, but we're on a good start here in Kansas City with our local talent.
Let's dive right in. First of all, I've seen you guys perform a couple of times. Great quality sound. You align yourself with quality people. How did this get started? I know everyone's got their story, but what really struck you, Carl? What was the moment you said, I'm going to do music for a long, long time?
Oh, gosh. How long do you have? Well, anyway, no, I started when I was like 7 years old. My grandmother was an organist. My mother's mother was an organist in church. And after she passed, we inherited her pump organ.
Okay.
And it was at my house. And going to church and just being involved in church and things like that, I would pluck out melodies that I heard in church. I'd come back and figure them out on the pump organ.
Ended
And so at that time, my mother especially wanted to get me involved in music lessons. So ended up, amazingly enough, ended up on the accordion.
Wow.
So at that time, it was kind of a weird thing, but they had people that would travel around from house to house, and they would bring an accordion, and you could set up a payment plan, and they would give you the lessons, and you'd pay for the accordion, and then of course you'd have it there to practice on. And so that's from the time I was 7 years old till I was about 18 or 19 years old. I played accordion. So
because that pump organ is really an accordion inside of keys with your
very
feet
similar.
pedal. Yeah,
absolutely. You have the bellows. You have it's air forced through reeds. Same thing, same principle. But you're just wearing it, and obviously much more involved. So
piano, then the accordion, and then you saw someone strum a guitar machine one day.
Yeah. Actually, the other part of it is my dad's side of the family was all bluegrass flat pickers.
Okay,
I love that.
So we would go to family reunions, which were huge, and they'd be picking, And then of course, as I became a teenage boy, developing, hey, what's going to get the attention of the girls? Guy that plays guitar.
Right.
They're not going to be attracted to the guy that plays the accordion.
Check out the hot dude on accordion.
Yeah, the guy on accordion, he's awesome. I think I want to date him. Not.
Right.
So anyway, but
who do you go with? The accordion player.
Because I've been playing in keyboards, and I had gotten into keyboards,
right,
organ and piano and things like that. And I was playing in bands at 13 and 14 years old, at guys who were older, because there were a lot of keyboard players around that had their own stuff. And I got in bands with guys that were much older, I say older, 16, 17, 18 years old,
Right.
and playing in bands with them. And I just gradually started, and I had an old guitar that my dad had inherited with strings that were that far off the neck, just trying to plunk out whatever I could, and learn at least some fretboard basics.
Press hard on the bridge.
Yeah,
Press hard on the bridge.
How I did that, I can't do that now. So.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it started, and it just grew from there exponentially. So just and I was always fortunate enough to be around people that were more experienced and older and experienced more in the music business over time. So
well, carry on with that. I mean, where were you getting your first breaks? When was that occurring? How old and with who?
Who saw you and said, "We'll hire you, boy. Get on stage."
Jump up there.
Yeah. So out of high school, I had my own bands, and as everybody does, had their own bands in high school. And I was 17, 18 years old. You play the frat parties and the kegger parties and things like that. And so we did that. I did that for years. And right out of high school, and I'm sure James is familiar with that, but the big places to work around here, if you got on with GM or you got on with Ford, the other place was Armco Steel at the time. Armco Steel was a huge steel plant. So my dad had worked there for 30 plus years. Out of high school, I put in my application for that, and I finally got hired about 6 months out of high school. And I worked there until I got laid off when the Chinese took over the steel industry, or I would say 82. Right in that range. So Armco kind of went by the wayside. So I took a job at a music store called Cousin Jed's Guitar Shed.
Cousin Jed's.
Where?
Wild Woodies. Remember Wild Woodies?
Yes.
God, that's way back.
Love Wild Woodies.
So 1982, 81, 82, right in that range. I took a job. I was 82. And I worked there until 83 in that range. And I had gotten married at that time, a young married couple. And so these 4 guys walked in like January of 83. And I had been singing with an all original band of heavy rock stuff. And I had a tape that we had done at some studio in North Kansas City, like an 8-track. Andy could appreciate this, an 8-track Tascam studio.
Tascam.
Yeah, Tascam. And that was state of the art back then.
Yeah, it was.
And we did that of this heavy rock, and I had a cassette tape of that back in the Cousin Jed's sound room, so I could, show sound equipment, things like that. So we'd play it, and so it's big and loud and boisterous. And these 4 guys walk in, and a couple of them looked familiar. I said, "Yeah, we're just coming. We're playing down the street, but we can't get in. The owner's not there, so we can go in and set up." It was like a Tuesday. And so I was playing this thing back there, and hey, who's singing on that tape? I said, "Well, that's me. I sang the vocals on that." And he goes, "Really?" So I see him milling about. So I catch him back up at the front desk, and "You wouldn't want to be interested in auditioning for a band, would you?" And I said, "Well, I'm always kind of interested.
Will I meet a woman?
Yeah, well, by the time I was married, so I probably wasn't interested in that.
All right.
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm going, yeah, I'd be interested. And he said, "Well, who do you like?" I said, "Well," I said, there was a lot of, at that time, the Kansas City music scene, 70s, 80s was just incredible, amazing music scene. And so I would go out to one block west and see all these bands, and I said, "Well, I go see Livewire and Plain Jane and all these other bands all the time." And he goes, and 2 of the guys goes, "Well, we're from Livewire. We have a new band called The Urge, and we might be looking for a singer if you're interested." And I'm going, "Okay."
I'm in.
So I set up an audition the next day, and I go down to this club where they're set up to play 5 nights a week, and I auditioned, and that's kind of the rest of it. I did a Loverboy song, a Journey song, and I think a Rainbow song.
And they said, "Okay.
The job's yours if you want it." I said, "Well, who's your singer now?" And they had an amazing female singer, a legendary singer, Deborah Cordero, who's still around this area, just incredible singer. And just something had happened personality-wise, and they just were ready to move on. And so from that was kind of the beginning of, January, February of 83 was the beginning of it all. So
The beginning.
That's an awesome story.
Being thrown into that, did you feel like you were a fish out of water, or did it just kind of come to you?
yeah, I mean, I obviously, I mean, you were talking about, I was 20
Yeah.
and I wasn't even 21 until like the second gig that I did, and with them.
Wow.
And so then these guys were 26, 27 years old. They've been playing the music scene for, 10 years plus.
Sure.
And so I was a little bit, but what I basically did was tried to pattern everything I'd seen out of every concert that I'd ever been to, whether it be Journey or Loverboy or
Right.
Foreigner, or I'm going to steal every move off stage that they do or handle the audience how I heard them handle the audience.
Right on.
So I can't say that it was it was stuff that I had seen that worked, and that kind of, so I just used that.
Okay. Who was in the Urge at that time?
Okay. So that time was Phil Brown on guitar and keyboards. He was from Livewire, and then Mark Laney on drums and vocals, who was also from Livewire. And then a couple of gentlemen that have passed away in the last few years. Ed Riggs, it was on bass and vocals, an incredible bass.
K.O. Pectones.
Yeah, K.O. Pectones, legendary, and just a credible friend and great musician.
Great loss.
And a gentleman named Tom Mount, who was also had passed away, but he had moved in the late 80s and early 90s. He moved to Phoenix and got involved in the music scene out there from Kansas City. So,
I see.
but the five of us traveled around, basically did a 400 to 500 mile radius of Kansas City,
Wow.
and we traveled, played 5 and 6 nights a week, and making money, playing music.
The music echoes on for those guys.
Oh,
Talking
absolutely.
about
Yeah,
some
absolutely,
music, that's a great segue. So why don't we take a break and then you guys come out with a song? Carl, what do you got up for us first?
Let's
Down the Road, I think is what you
let's
said.
do Down the Road. That's the one that's getting some airplay on some internet radio stations around the country. So we'll do that one. It's written by Vicky and myself. So kind of how this whole project started.
That's perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
This is Down the Road by the Carl Warden Band.
Blood red moon and sunsets, days go flying by. Every love's a lesson, leap but never try. Wish upon an epithet, face turned towards the sky. Dance a time to your regret, sleepless lullaby. Down the road there's a beat up sign saying 10 more miles to the county line. Looks the same as it did in my memory. Down the road there's a vision of what I'm trying to rise above. I'm not the man I used to be, 'cause I've been down the road. Dusty back roads travel, mountain tops all climb, twisted dreams unravel, a wandering passerby. Friends don't feel familiar, strangers seem my kind. Wondering if I've been there in another life. Down the road there's a beat up sign saying 10 more miles to the county line. Looks the same as it did in my memory. Down the road there's a vision of what I'm trying to rise above. I'm not the man I used to be, 'cause I've been down the road. looks the same as it did in my memory. Down the road there's a vision of what I'm trying to rise above. I'm not the man I used to be, 'cause I've been down the road. I've been down the road.
Looking to buy an RV? KC RVs is your one-stop shop for everything RV. We offer competitive pricing, great financing rates and terms, and the best storage options in town. KC RVs. We make purchasing an RV fast, safe, and easy.
Midwest Music Foundation supports Kansas City's vibrant music community through wellness services and healthcare grants, advancing artists' careers through educational and performance opportunities, and providing access to a growing network of industry professionals. Through Abby's Fund, musicians and music workers faced with urgent healthcare expenses can get the help they need when they need it. For more information on the resources MMF provides, visit midwestmusicfoundation.org.
Successful musicians know a strong multimedia presence is a must. Rock the stage and elevate your game with Black Moon Media. We understand the power of high-quality visuals in attracting premier venues, and we specialize in photo and video services designed to help you kick your career into high gear. Are you ready to take your band to the next level? Contact us today at 913-415-5101 or by visiting the website on your screen. Flexible payment options available.
Looking for a spacious venue to hold your next event? Whether it's a wedding, anniversary, or private party, Abdallah Shriners provides the perfect atmosphere at very competitive rates for your special occasion. Abdallah Shriners meets all your needs with a 5,800 square foot event space, 20-foot ceilings, stage, built-in AV equipment, and a full-service bar. Your event will definitely be one to remember. For more information, call Abdallah Shriners today at 913-362-5300 or go to abdallahshriners.com.
Looking to sell your RV? Let KCRV sell it for you. We offer free storage until your unit sells. We'll advertise, showcase, finance, and best of all, we'll handle all the paperwork. KCRVs, Kansas City's RV Consignment Center.
Welcome back. We're here in the studio today at Kansas City Limits, recorded in Blue Springs at SoundWorks with the Carl Warden Band and all their musical sounds they've got for us today. That was a great song, Carl. What inspired Down the Road?
Amazingly enough, all I had was the chorus.
You just had the chorus. It hit you?
Yeah, it's really a song about.
Were you on a railroad track?
The same one you were left on?
Yes.
that photographer found you on?
Thank goodness for that photographer.
He saved you.
He saved me. Yeah.
You're not on the milk carton anymore.
I'm not. Anyway. No, I mean, really, it's a song about, because you go through life and you have a lot of regrets and you have a lot of things you would like to do over. And that was a lot of it. I mean, it's all about kind of redemption and moving past. You learn from the experiences you've gotten, and that's kind of that line, I've been down the road. That's the road I've been down. So I've learned from that experience. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to live my life a better way. And that's kind of what the whole song rung about. And then I just had, like I said, I had the chorus, and I just said, I had lyrics that I had written for the verses, and I was not, I couldn't bring, they wasn't connecting with me.
Wasn't clicking.
No. And so I said, I just played it for Vicky, and instantly she just said, I've got ideas.
Okay.
And boom, within like a short period of time, here's what I got. And okay, this is incredible. I mean, because she's a great wordsmith, and she just knows how to, without being too cliche. I mean, I could write stuff, and everything that was coming out for her might have been when the rain in Spain, it's mainly in the plane. I mean, it was really cliche and sing-song.
Predictable.
Yeah, and that's not the song I wanted to project.
Right.
I need something a little deeper. I needed to dig a little bit.
Sure.
And what she wrote was about that.
Tell us who this is next to you, this Vicky
This
woman.
is my amazing wife, and we've been together since 2012. We've been married almost 6 years now.
And how long have you guys been performing together?
I recruited her into the band.
You're a smart man.
In 2015 because we
14.
14, yeah, 14. That's right. And then we had amazingly left some of the things you would think you want to do this, but we'd go out and karaoke just for fun, have a nice night out, and just relax and go be goofy and sing. You know, and that voice, wow. And then even more so, I came home from work one day and she was singing around the house to some Linda Ronstadt. I'm going, wow, that's incredible. You need to be singing. And so she initially joined the band just as a backup singer, but as we developed, I mean, several of the songs she sings lead on, and some of the songs where I'm writing now, she'll be even more featured. You know, there's some female part that would be, you know, like a secondary lead and things like that. And so,
Vicky, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you're with another band featuring yourself, and go ahead.
Rate and Ronstadt Revival. I do the Linda Ronstadt, and then a good friend of mine, Monica McBride. She does the Bonnie Raitt. She plays slide guitar, looks like Bonnie.
Yes.
In fact, we got to do the second stage at Starlight opening for Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, wow.
And Monica came out to see us, and people thought it was Bonnie Raitt in the audience. So she was giving autographs, posing for pictures with people. Yeah.
Who plays guitar in that band?
Guy, you might have heard of him. His name's Carl Warden. And we also
I heard of him.
Yeah, Joe's also in the band.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
this guy right here.
Yep.
Wonderful. Yeah, and you guys are doing gigs here in town. I know you play Aztec Theater, right?
Yeah, Knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads, yeah. Any place else?
We've done the Friday night concert series at Mackin Park in North Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we pulled in a pretty nice crowd for that as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You guys were at Briarfest last year.
Carl and me, we did an acoustic thing.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was awesome to have you.
It was really nice.
We loved it.
We're going to try to have you again this year. I'll know in a few days.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
There's a plug.
Original music. You guys do it. You love it. But you also do some covers.
Mm-hmm.
So of the covers you do, is there a cover that you do that you really, 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 really just love and just always enjoy doing? And of your original songs, is there an original song that's really just got you waking up in the morning humming it every morning?
I think everybody probably has a cover. I mean, what I bring when we do covers, for the most part, and these guys can attest to, because I just throw crap at them. I just throw stuff at them all the time. Hey, what about this song? Let's do this song, and it's like all of a sudden we're doing that song. But because they're great musicians, and as is my keyboard player Joe Fopiano, who's not here, drummer Brian Winkert, and my other guitar player Scott Billings. So they're machines. I mean, they just learn stuff, and we just get a rehearsal together, and we're done. No, to me, when I pick cover songs, for the most part, I try to pick stuff that affects me, that gets to me. You know, like we do a song called "Prayed for You" by Matt Stell. It just hit me. I heard it on. Wow, I was driving and it just hit me. I listened to the words.
To you.
Yeah, I listened to the words. And a fan of ours sent us a song that I had never heard before, and we started doing it. It's called "Where I Find God" by Larry Fleet, and it's just like, that's an amazing song.
Was that song you were practicing earlier about the King James, finding the King James book?
Prayed for You. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a great, the lyrics just drove home to me, because I kind of grew up in the church. I mean, but I don't consider myself, I consider myself of faith, but maybe not the most religious.
A church or a bar?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll find me
and the
one
Larry
of those,
Fleet song says just that. I mean, where
Good
I
sound.
find God, it doesn't necessarily have to be in church.
Sure.
I'm driving down the road in my Chevy, and there he is sitting beside me.
Right.
And that struck me. And just like, okay, that hits home for me. So
right on.
But as far as original songs, right now, honestly, the song that you'll show later, "New Horizon," I wrote that song. I have 3 daughters, and they're all grown. They have lives of their own. But at one point, they were scattered across the United States. I had one in Denver, I had one in Phoenix, and I had one in South Carolina. And so if we listen to the words of that song, it kind of describes a dad missing his girls.
Sure.
And luckily now they're all back to Kansas City. They're back
nice.
home.
Come
So-
on back home, girls.
Yeah. They found their way back
There's a song
home.
right there.
Yeah. So I mean, but I
They
just,
needed barbecue.
yeah. When they were gone, it just like you felt like I just felt like a part of me was missing. You know, you can only do so much with a phone call or a text. you know.
Absolutely. My daughter got back from college yesterday, and I'm just like, we're going to watch some movies. We're going to do some
Yeah.
things, you know,
Yeah.
because you'll be growing up
Absolutely.
before you know it.
So
Tell us the rest about your band. Introduce your bass player, and we know Mark, and you know he's like old school around here.
he's the
but-
house band.
Yeah. But tell us your
This
bass
is Joe
player.
Lewis. I actually met Joe when I met Mark was 89, 88, 89, something like that.
Back in
Something like that.
80s.
The original version of a band we had together called London Drive
Okay.
was
Remember that band?
Joe was the original bass player, and we actually recorded some London Drive stuff at Joe's studio. But Joe was playing through Van McLean of Shooting Star. That's how I met Mark, and then I met Joe through the same project of London Drive, and we were recording at Van McLean's, what was it, Sound
Factory.
Factory, yeah.
Wow.
And they brought me in as a singer, lyricist thing for that project, and that's how we all met. And we've played in numerous things across the years, and just he's a phenomenal bass player. Just I love the way he kind of is my band director in a way. He kind of controls everything, and just
He's certainly the technical guy of
He
the
knows
band.
his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
him and Brian, my drummer, just lock in. Like there's times I'm just going.
Joe, are you
Well,
are
he
you
says I always
playing?
look at him weird, but I'll look back and that's incredible. I'm just hearing this rhythm section of.
Are you guys using a sync track? Yeah. You guys are too tight.
That's when I fumble my
right?
notes when he looks at me. I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong spot.
But he's just a phenomenal bass player and good friend and great backup singer, and he just does everything for me. And of course, Mark and I, like I said, met through Van McLean in '88, and I was out of music at that time, and it's just my second daughter was born right before
You were
that.
standing on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I had sold everything. I pretty much sold all my musical equipment, and I got a call from Van McLean, and he says, "Carl, what are you doing nowadays?" Nothing. I'm working for a vending company. I'm being a dad and working for a vending company, and he said, "Well, I got these guys out here. They need somebody to come and maybe do some writing and some singing on some stuff at the Sound Factory." And I, why not? We'll do it. And they said, "Well, I'm going to give you this guy's contact information." So I called Mark, and I met him at his house that he was living in at the time, part time, when he wasn't living in New York, working for TWA. And so I went over and we talked over a pot of instant mashed potatoes.
I think Mark now is taking
Come
the
over
lead.
for some spuds.
Yes, let's have some spuds together and
Let's
talk
have some
music.
You mean a pint? No, some potatoes, damn it. I'm Irish.
Mark has taken the lead, I think, at Kansas City Limits for most appearances now. I think this is his third. Is that right?
Yes.
Third appearance with Kansas City Limits.
We're going to have him with another band here in a couple of weeks. He
Mark
doesn't know it.
Murtha on the steel pedal, which is one of my favorite instruments in the world. And of course, we had him with Oscar Polk, and then here most recently with Head East.
Head East, folks.
Yeah, that was good. Good stuff. Yeah, really good stuff.
I want to tell you just a quick little interesting tidbit about Carl. We met in the late 80s, but we could have met much, much earlier because I think it was around 82 or something. I used to like to go to music stores and just kind of play their guitars. I couldn't afford a nice guitar at the time. And I was just playing. I don't know what I was playing, Rush or something. And some guy came in and said, "Oh, that sounds really good. Would you be interested in playing in a band?" I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough to do that.
That was your guys' first encounter?
Wasn't Carl.
Oh, okay.
It was the same guy who
Phil
was in
Brown.
the band with
Phil
Carl.
Brown from the Urge.
It was Phil Brown, yeah.
They were putting the Urge.
Funny.
They were putting the Urge together.
Wow.
They're putting the Urge together, and I heard this story much later. and as the second guitar player, Phil wanted to hire Mark as the second guitar player.
Wow.
So I could have been playing in '83 with Mark.
What record store?
It was a record store. It was Big Dudes Music.
Oh, gotcha.
Down Broadway.
Big
yeah.
Dudes.
Yep.
Proud sponsor of Briarfest.
Nice plug.
Let's talk about your style of music. Why country? What dragged you down that road?
Funny you should say down the road. No, anyway, it's honestly, I've always been exposed to country. My mother's record collection, from young, besides being, gospel and things like that, she had Kitty Wells, and she had, now the name escapes me, the old train guy, Jimmy Rogers.
Yeah.
Things like that. Huge into Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins was a huge influence because of that
beautiful
big,
hair,
beautiful voice that he had.
Yeah.
And, so that was always in the background. And of course, and I had sisters that I was probably an oops baby, I'm sure, 13 to 14 years older than me. So that's how I got exposed to modern music. But there was always, like I said, the Kitty Wells and the Marty Robbins and
Candy Lane.
Yeah. All those country artists from the 50s and 60s that were playing on the record player. And then, like I said, my dad's family background was flat picking. So we had Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt and things like that. And they would get into the Merle Haggard and things like that. That was always around. But honestly, most of that it boils back to the songwriting aspect of it. And the thing I loved, some of the newer country music aside, country music has always been a storytelling aspect. I mean, there's always a movement. There's always something they're touching on. I'm telling a story, Merle Haggard or Marty Robbins, they're telling a story about something, and it's set to music, and that's always appealed to me. And even some of the songs we wrote in the rock genre, I feel like I tried to be a storyteller. Let's tell a story. Let's do something with this music other than let's party and have a beer.
Hey, the original music, folk music specifically,
right.
That was all it was a story.
Right.
Telling you to heal and things will be better and we can move on, and those that you've lost are waiting for you when you're gone.
Right.
And original songwriters, you being one of them, you that song don't belong to you. The thoughts may have started with you, but it belongs to someone else out there.
Sure.
And country music is, for all intents and purposes, it's the most digestible form of music, I feel. Everything else is either a little bit of a distractor of overwhelming. But country sometimes, because it is in that storytelling fashion, allows you to listen up
right.
To what I'm sharing with you versus chant with me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's a country artist we actually have had the privilege to open up for a couple times, David Nail, who's actually from Missouri, from Southeast Missouri. And that was one of the, when I first kind of was writing, that was one of the artists that I kind of listened to because it was a storytelling. He writes with a guy named Scooter Caruso a lot, who is an amazing storyteller from Nashville, a great Nashville songwriter. And that was some of the storytelling in his songs really went, kind of got me, it got to me. And so that's where, like, Down the Road came, boom, and then Last Train.
What inspires you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a song that we're going to listen to here, right?
Yeah, Last Train.
Well, let's just take a break and listen to that song. What do you say, Robert?
This is the Carl Warden Band, and their song they're going to perform is Last Train.
Is this the last train from this lonely town? I grew up in the shadows of these big city lights I could see from afar. Nothing about them ever really called to my heart. Love the feel of my small town. Love to work on the land, and the work made me strong. Somewhere along the way, something seemed to go wrong. Is this the last train from this lonely town? Not even memories are left hanging around. Ain't much of my life here that remains. Last train. those warm nights, running out in the fields where the moon shine high. Learn about family and living lessons of life. The special feeling that made people stay, it was lost and they all moved away. All the things that we had end up fading away. Is this the last train from this lonely town? Not even memories are left hanging around. Ain't much of my life here that remains. Is this the last train from this lonely town? Don't really care much where this train is bound. Got to put this place in my mirror, just get away. Without warning, without a sound, a match is lit, it's all burned to the ground. Tell me, why did I stay around for this last train from this lonely town? Not even memories are left hanging around. Ain't much of my life here that remains. Is this the last train from this lonely town? Don't really care much where this train is bound. Got to put this place in my mirror, just get away on this last train. Last train.
Voted Best Live Music Venue, Knucklehead Saloon is located in the East Bottoms, deep in the heart of Kansas City. Home to 4 stages, Knuckleheads offers live entertainment 6 nights a week. For a list of upcoming shows and tickets, visit knuckleheadskc.com. Knuckleheads, where the world's greatest musicians come to play.
Midwest Music Foundation supports Kansas City's vibrant music community through wellness services and healthcare grants, advancing artists' careers through educational and performance opportunities, and providing access to a growing network of industry professionals. Through Abby's Fund, musicians and music workers faced with urgent healthcare expenses can get the help they need when they need it. For more information on the resources MMF provides, visit midwestmusicfoundation.org.
Hey, this is Randy Miller, and we've got some cool things going on at randymillerradio.com. You just never know when you come in the studio, Michael, what you're going to find.
Randy! Let them have it, Randy.
randymillerradio.com is our daily podcast, and it's available all the time, 24/7, if you're brave enough to listen. Just go to randymillerradio.com and turn it up.
It's Randy Miller, 24/7. Whenever you're brave enough to listen on randymillerradio.com.
Marketing in today's world can be difficult. No other medium can reach more people more effectively than video. B4 Productions is here to help. We'll bring your ideas to life and make sure you get the most out of your investment. Commercials for regular TV broadcast, explainer web videos, or just corporate training. It's what we do. When you need a quality production without breaking the bank, you need B4 Productions.
You're listening to Kansas City Limits, being filmed live here in Blue Springs. We've got the Carl Warden Band, and Last Train, that's got a somber feeling to it, but also it has a kind of a vibration, of you're moving on. Things move on, and
Right.
all things never stay the same. So,
Right.
tell us, a little bit about you. You'd mentioned what inspires you to write your music, but that song specifically, what was behind it?
Yeah, a lot of that was, I mean, everybody remembers, when you get to of a certain age, especially, you remember your youth. Most people remember a lot of good things about their youth, and how life was more simple and overall. But I think a lot of that without getting political at all or anything like that, I think we all kind of stem that the world has kind of moved on, and you see how things like the area that I grew up in, which was the Raytown Eastern Independence area. It was the area, especially that I grew up in, has just kind of become kind of a ghost town. It's not what it was. It's just gotten, you go through those areas where it feels like everything's just kind of gotten darker.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where that came from. I mean, it was just, I need to move on from this place because there's nothing, as it says in the song, there's nothing left for me.
An
here.
evaporation of life has taken place. Yeah.
Everything I remember that was good from this area is now gone. There's nothing to glean from this. And that's kind of where that came from. And even, ironic, we talked earlier about writing stuff in the studio. And I had a completely different section written for what I call the bridge section there. The night that Vicky and I had our wedding reception, the house that I lived in that area burned to the ground.
Oh my God.
So that's where there's a line in there, the Latin match is lit, it's all burned to the ground. I mean, I wrote that after that. And that's when because I had a completely different line in that. But when I heard that, a friend of mine that lived around the corner said, by the way, your house burned to the ground last night.
Life events make great lyrics,
yeah,
don't
and
they?
so I just, that line hit me.
That could
right
be
away.
a Twilight Zone movie, too.
Yeah.
You write the song, it happens. Holy shit, what have I done?
And your arm or your hand smells like gas.
Run, Robert Cray, run, smoking
Luckily, I have no
gun.
connection to that area whatsoever anymore.
All right, Carl. So a couple things I want to touch on real quick, and then we'll get to some of the last topics. But so I've been fortunate to see you perform many times with many different people. In fact, I love this ensemble that you have, and I love when Joe plays with you too. He's a great musician.
Yeah.
But I did, I know when we had you at Briarfest last year, it was you and Vicky, so you do kind of a duo with her. I know here recently I've seen you both actually over at the Levee, filling in for Ray. Mm-hmm. And for you to pick up with those guys, I mean, Ray and Rodney have great voices anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing those old, 70s, 80s tunes for a long time. And to get to see you up there, play with those guys and hit those songs with them, it was incredible. I was amazed how well that you fit into that band.
Oh, thanks.
Good job there. Same thing, Mark. I've seen you play with Carl and Vicky, and I've seen you obviously with other bands. But one of the things I wanted to give you kudos for is we know we discussed before the show. You guys are getting ready to do Purple Jam. Is that right? Purple Jam at Knuckleheads around Memorial Weekend. We'll talk about that a little later, and you did Briarfest last year. One of the things that Robert and I were, definitely a heartstring. It was a benefit, obviously. It was a festival to benefit music.
Midwest Music Foundation.
Yeah, that's right. And you in turn returned the money that was going to be paid to you guys to do that show. You guys are doing more stuff in this town to help local charities most of the time that we're out, looking at places to go, or my wife and I, just like everybody else, there's all kinds of places to go every night, it seems like.
You're a damn giver is what he's trying to say. You're a damn giver.
Well,
you're nice as hell.
It just needs to be noted that you guys are playing around town at doing some of these festivals and these charitable gigs, and, out of the kindness of your heart. I mean, these are things that people need to know.
There are takers and there are givers, and you're givers.
Oh, but you guys,
that's not why we do it. We get a bigger blessing from doing those things
for sure.
And these guys, anytime we ask them to do it with us, our whole band is right there with us.
Oh, and I love that about that. I mean, I just wanted to make put that in the video that we're going to release on this because it is important that you guys are out there doing that. And then finally, I wanted to touch base on what we can expect from a live show from the Carl Warden Band.
A lot of it depends on where you see us. I mean, if we I will shameless plug. We're doing this weekend. We're playing at Paul and Jack's down in North Kansas City, and it's the full band. But we do a lot more covers in a show like that because it's a bar scene
outside, right?
Yeah, it's hopefully, knock on wood, it's the first official. If the weather cooperates, the first official opening of this outside
this
stage.
Weekend.
Yeah, this Saturday
it's supposed
night.
to be nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be great. So we'll knock on wood. We do that, and when we do a show like that, we'll do a lot more covers. We'll sprinkle in a few of the originals here and there because actually, we do get a request for those, which is great. I love the fact that we get requests for those. But
for the original stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we do that, but we do a lot more cover. People are there to drink and have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a laid back party atmosphere. We'll do everything from Merle Haggard to Wild Cherry to who knows what else. I think are we doing Blackberry Smoke? Can't remember if we're doing Blackberry Smoke.
That's
Smoke.
on the list.
I think it's on the list. I can't remember. I make these lists up and I forget what's on them. So
that was one of the first few shows I went with Jay when I first met him, and we were down at the Power and Light.
Yeah.
That was such a great show.
And we do some all, classic, 70s rock, REO Speedwagon and stuff like that too. So
Head East.
Yeah, I don't think we don't do any Head East. We leave that to professionals.
We're prohibited by
to the
law.
professionals.
They get mad. They're already in town. You don't want to copy them.
That's that old time rock and roll music.
People know how to find me in that band, so I don't want to do.
They're like, we just had Head East. No, that was the Carl Warden Band.
No, they don't want to be associated with me.
So you've been involved in the Purple Jam, the Red Hair shows, and you've been dubbed the voice of Kansas City in some capacity.
Thanks,
so
Bob.
Tell us all about that in a brief couple minutes.
Thanks, Bob Pennington, wherever you are.
Bob Pennington.
Yeah.
Rock Muck Photography.
And production.
Yeah, he's the one that gave me that moniker, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but I had to throw that in.
Well, you have a chance to change it right now. What do you want to be?
Well, wait a minute. We just put that on a T-shirt, so.
Oh, man.
Oh, right.
That's too late now. Sorry, Bob. Yeah. But, I mean, the Purple Jam is Tyson Leslie, who runs the Purple Jam and also the Rare Hair shows in Nashville. He's just another guy that I met through Mark because when he was 17, 15.
He was still in high school when we
15 or
recorded,
16 or 17. He was recording, and Mark had a studio called the Inferno, and was doing a lot of stuff around town, like local bands that would come up. Puddle of Mud actually did their demos
right here, but I don't remember that.
But it was a blackout with Wes Cantlin.
Yes, it was. Anyway, so long story short, Tyson was in a band called Alienation when he was in high school, and they were recording at Mark's studio, and I met Tyson. Mark put out a compilation called the Inferno music. Was it
Rock Collection?
Inferno Rock Collection, and so on the very first one, we had a. On the London Drive live shows, we would mix from stage, and I would go back and play on drums enough to get by, so Shane could go out and set the sound. So we wrote this song called Road Crew, and it's just like 3 chords, and I can play a simple drum beat, so Shane could set everything. And so we rewrote the lyrics. So every band that was on the Inferno Rock Collection Volume 1, we wrote the lyrics, took something out of the lyrics of each one of their songs and put it in Road Crew. And so we had all their vocalists come in and record that. So Tyson came in with Alienation and recorded on Road Crew, and that's how I met Tyson. And so he does the Purple Jam, which is, as James has said, he's been there a couple times. It's a massive, massive thing. And it's all Prince. He's a huge Prince fan.
Right.
And so it's all Prince music for 2.5 to 3 hours. and it's a complete. You would think it's a madhouse, and it kind of is, but it's a organized madhouse.
It all comes together.
Joe's been there. Change out bands every song.
Wow.
Whole band change out every song. Everybody, and the word is, be ready, get on stage, play, get off.
Right on.
And that's everybody does it. And it's you have 1 to 2 minutes between bands, and you're rolling right through it, and it's a blast. And it's always for good charity. And the Rare Hair is the same thing, but it's when I say hair, it's about hair bands. So it's all hair band music, and it's all the people from Nashville that do it. And then he'll bring in occasionally like Curtis Anderson from Kansas City, Go Ray.
Yeah.
From Kansas City will go down and play it because they're good friends. And he actually
Does
asked me to
Tyson
come down.
MC that and the whole deal like Purple Jam down
It's
there?
the same, but you have like Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big, and you have the guys from Tesla there, and you have all these guys that now live in Nashville will come in and play these songs, and you would think it'd be a madhouse, but everybody's drinking, having a good time, and raising money for a good cause. So, and it's just a blast.
Vicky, you said, is this the 4th or 5th?
I think this is number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6 of the Purple Jam.
Yeah, Purple Jam
Nuck
6.
Always at Nucks, right?
Yeah.
And Frank, the cover is fairly steep on that particular show, but 100% of that goes to the charity, right? Yes. So you guys are up doing your thing. Some of you get paid a little bit to come up and do background and things like that, but most of the entertainers and artists are providing their time for that cause. Okay, we're in the studio again today with Carl Warden Band, and we have Carl Warden, of course, on lead. We have Vicky as the vocals and Joe on bass, and our good friend Mark Murtha on the steel pedal. Thank you guys again for being here at Kansas City Limits.
Thank you.
We'd love to come
Finally
out and see
got
you guys.
to do it. Thank you.
Oh, God, thank you, man.
You guys got time for one more? I heard you got a song, New Horizon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lay that out for us.
Yeah, it's the first time it's been recorded, so it's except
love
for my
that.
home studio. So Andy's got the first recording of it. So.
I love it. Let's give it a listen.
All righty, this is a newer one here. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Say the field west is calling to your heart. Time to start a brand new life. A restless spirit sometimes gives you what you need. Time to spread your wings, let yourself take flight. The western sky, where the mountains are so high. The western sky, and the desert far and wide. No matter how far away, always on my mind. I'm always there for you if you need to laugh or cry. And I know you need to fly to your new horizon. You say you fear the coast is calling out your name. It's your chance to chase the sun. Time to make your mark in this great big world. You've touched so many lives, yet yours has just begun. Eastern sky, where the ocean far and wide. The eastern sky, a brand new life is yours to find. No matter how far away, always on my mind. I'm always there for you if you need to laugh or cry. And I know you need to fly to your new horizon. so high, the eastern sky. A brand new life is yours to find. No matter how far away, you're always on my mind. I'm always there for you if you need to laugh or cry. And now I know you need to fly to your new horizon. And now I know you need to fly to your new horizon.
Looking to buy an RV? KCRVs is your one-stop shop for everything RV. We offer competitive pricing, great financing rates and terms, and the best storage options in town. KCRVs. We make purchasing an RV fast, safe, and easy.
Midwest Music Foundation supports Kansas City's vibrant music community through wellness services and healthcare grants, advancing artists' careers through educational and performance opportunities, and providing access to a growing network of industry professionals. Through Abby's Fund, musicians and music workers faced with urgent healthcare expenses can get the help they need when they need it. For more information on the resources MMF provides, visit midwestmusicfoundation.org.
Successful musicians know a strong multimedia presence is a must. Rock the stage and elevate your game with Black Moon Media. We understand the power of high-quality visuals in attracting premier venues, and we specialize in photo and video services designed to help you kick your career into high gear. Are you ready to take your band to the next level? Contact us today at 913-415-5101 or by visiting the website on your screen. Flexible payment options available.
Looking to sell your RV? Let KCRV sell it for you. We offer free storage until your unit sells. We'll advertise, showcase, finance, and best of all, we'll handle all the paperwork. KCRVs, Kansas City's RV Consignment Center.
We're in the studio today at Kansas City Limits with the Carl Warden Band, hearing all about their story and their wonderful sound, and we're so happy they've been here. If you want to know more about Carl Warden and his band, you can find them on Facebook.com, the Carl Warden Music, KCTributeBands.com, and Instagram and all the other places social media happens to happen.
Right.
When's your next show coming up here 2 weeks from now?
Well, actually, it's this weekend,
Okay.
but then we have a show this week where we're recording at we're at Paul and Jack's, and then we have a show at a brand new place in Parkville called Creekside.
Yeah.
We'll be there the following Saturday, and then after that, it slows down a little bit. We have some acoustic shows. There's a winery that Vicky and I do down in Higginsville called Acadian Moon. And we'll be down there acoustic. We've got 2 or 3 different shows. Well, we try to keep everything up to date on the pages, so just follow us there. We're going to be at Mackin Park again, hopefully without thunderstorms this year.
That's the Friday night gigs they do?
Yeah, the Friday night concert series. We're there in August, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah, August. And
that'll be nice and cool then.
Yeah, that'll be the full band for 2 hours, and just it'll be a really good show. We got a big production there, and it's a fantastic.
I went one of those shows. It's a good event. A lot of people show up,
and hopefully at Briarfest.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would. We'll be there. We'll have the RV there. Robert will be running around like a chicken with his head chopped off.
That's right.
I'll be on my golf cart just cruising around as I do.
We'll wave to you as you go by, James.
All right. So real quick, can the music that you have, your original stuff, where can people pick that up?
You can find everything from the first EP, which is 4 songs. You can find that on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes, and Pandora.
Wonderful.
Outstanding.
And then there's a few, like I do want to give a shout out to DZ Tunes, DZ Radio. He's an internet radio station here in Kansas City. Really, really loyal guy. He plays a lot of this stuff.
Cool.
There's a couple of stations. There's a station in Phoenix that's playing it on internet. And I believe there was just something in Albuquerque that I just got contacted that they're playing one of the songs. It's all internet radio stuff, but we appreciate any spins we get. So
Any way you can get it.
right, absolutely.
Yeah. You spread the word. Spread the word. We're so glad you were here in the studio today with us. It's been a joy to find out all about you, and we can't wait to see you again. And just remember, be good to yourself, be good to others, and be good to musicians. We'll see you next time on Kansas City Limits.
Amen.
Amen. We want to let you know this cannot happen without other people that love music as much as you. We want to thank Kansas City RVs, voted 2023's favorite RV dealer in Kansas City by the Kansas City Star. We want to thank AMPR, a Area Musicians Promotional Resource, a non-for-profit organization. We want to thank KCL Show, spotlighting local Kansas City musicians, and much more. Scores Sports Bar and Grill. Great food, ice cold drinks, and a wonderful local live music location, and it's right by the stadium. Teresa M. Deaton, American Family Insurance Agency. Insuring your dreams with Teresa M. Deaton Agency makes sense. SoundWorks Recording Studio, right here in Blue Springs for over 20 years, where this program is recorded and filmed, where Kansas City Limits Radio is recorded. Kansas City's favorite local music joint, Knuckleheads KC, voted #1 music venue in Kansas City by Kansas City's Magazine. Open Mortgage, where better is possible and owning is still better than renting. Rock and Mock Productions, providing a wide range of promotional services and entertainers for their services. Check out Rock Mock. Black Moon Media LLC, photos and videos, and Magical Souls, putting your dreams together with that. S&S Printing, a commercial printing and design company. Midwest Music Foundation, giving local musicians the care they deserve. And remember, be good to yourself, be good to others, and be good to musicians. We'll see you next time on Kansas City Limits.
Oh my gosh! I lost it. That is the one. That is one right